Shaun Short time on Always Another Game podcast. Today, I want to talk to you very quickly about the worst lead in sport and the perception that it plays in sport and the perception that it has away from the game also. Now, any of you that have played, they often say that 2-0 is the worst lead in sport. Or even if you look at basketball, when you're up by 2, the other team can easily score a 3. When you're up 30-love in tennis, it looks smooth sailing, right? Yet 1 point the other way and the momentum shifts. And that's why a lot of people say it's the worst lead in sport, is the shift in momentum that it gains when the team or the person that is behind gets that little bit closer. They're now motivated. They now build momentum and they're more likely to go on and catch you up and win the game because there has been a shift in momentum. Now, what if we saw it the other way? What if we saw 2-0 as the best lead in sport and got excited about putting the game to bed at 3-0 or 40-love? Now, we know sports teams and athletes have come back from those scores, but it's a lot less likely because if you're 40-love up and it goes to 40-15, you're still in control. If you're 3-0 up and it goes to 3-1, you still have a little bit of breathing room. So a lot of this is perception. And I think within sport and in life, we use a lot of what I call safety nets. And this is to protect our ego. Whereas if we start going, yeah, we're going to go 3-0 up, let's get really excited about this, and then it doesn't and it goes 2-1, we look a bit silly now, don't we? People will potentially start mocking at us or saying, oh, you jinxed it. And that's when we start feeling, we start feeling hurt or negative because we got it wrong. Whereas what if you got it right? What if your momentum and your confidence took you to 3-0, 4-0, or took you to 40-love and, a clean sweep? You would look like a genius. Now, in sport and things like that, so many people are afraid to take risks, but actually the most successful athletes are the ones that take the most risks, that have that confidence, that have that, what if this does work, rather than what if this goes wrong? So how can you implement that into your daily life? Well, you may not be playing a game. You may not be 2-0 up or 2 points up. But rather than looking at something as a negative and oh, what if this goes wrong? What if this fails? What if I don't, do well in the gym today? Well, what if you do? What if you do PB? What if you do run the furthest you've ever run? What if you do avoid snacking after dinner? It's going to be a great feeling. You're going to feel incredible for getting that massive win by just challenging it, because the areas that you may struggle in your day-to-day life don't have as big a consequence as maybe a professional sports game or just a sports game in general, because, you skipping a workout isn't the same as you skipping a set and the other person, winning 6-love or, missing a whole quarter and you're down by 20 points. It doesn't have the same effect. So using these skills learned in perception and changing the worst lead in sport into the best lead, it can change your progression within your day-to-day activities. So it's something to think about today. Have a look, have a sit down and see where you might be being negative or being hard on yourself to keep yourself safe. Where are you safety netting? Are you using certain words that will keep you safe? Oh, well, maybe I might go to the gym, because all you need to do is might go to the gym. You don't actually have to go, because you never said I'm going to go. So you safety netted. Whereas if you start saying I'm going to go to the gym at this time for this long and do this workout, you're more likely to do it. Because if you don't, you'll feel guilty. And that is, again, hurting your ego. So let's start building on our egos. A lot of people say it's there to keep us safe. I don't think it is. I think it's quite often with many people, it holds us back. And let's start utilizing that growth mindset into saying what is possible. What can I do? How can I improve this lead? How can I get more points, more wins? Because it is possible. If you just take any sports game, there has been multiple 2-0 games. Football at the weekend, Premier League, Arsenal, they won 6-0. At one point, they had the worst lead in football, but something happened that allowed them to get the third, and they put the game to bed. West Ham had no way back into that game. They crushed them by getting that extra goal, and they went on. Whereas you've seen the teams that go 2-0 and they're like, oh, what if we get scored on here? And they sit back and guess what? They get scored on, and then they can't get into that attacking flow again to allow them to go forward. So momentum in sport, momentum in life is priceless. It's so valuable. When you feel that momentum in progression towards your goals, go with it. Don't sit back and protect yourself. Go with that momentum. I always say to my clients, it's like riding a wave. And when you're at the top of the wave, enjoy it. Have fun, look at the views, but also know how to come out of that wave so you can come out safely, relax on the beach, and then go back in again, that you don't crash and burn. Because if you are seeing that wave as the bad side of the 2-0, you're more likely to crash, hurt yourself, and not want to go back out there. That's when momentum goes the other way and you fall into a funk. So hopefully that has given you some inspiration today. If you have enjoyed it, if you've taken anything away, please share this episode with anybody that you feel needs to hear this. Any like and subscribe helps this show grow, it helps the word spread, and all the aim is to help one person today. And if that was you, then brilliant. My job here is done. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, there is always another game.